Every source of media and many people I have conversations with seem to be talking about AI. Everyone has an opinion about AI. You know, I'm not sure I have a strong opinion. I'm sure it could be used for the greater good. And just like anything, I'm sure it can be used to cause harm. Oppenheimer never dreamed of how disastrous his creation would be, but if he hadn't discovered it, someone else would have, because it exists. Simply because it exists. So if we want to use AI correctly, why don't we create suits that we could get in that would show us exactly how another person feels and what they experience for 24 hours? I believe that we could create something called the Parkinson's suit. I'd like you to think about what your suit would feel like on another human. What would they experience getting into the suit? Like, you know those games people play that are virtual reality? Well, let's pretend it's not just the ocular. Cover your body with what amounts to a wetsuit, with footies and gloves and everything, right? So you have the entire body covered. Where would it be pressing? Where would it be sharp? Where would there be heat? Where would there be numbness? Would the suit be heavy, like concrete that is drying quickly? Would it feel like water? And for 24 hours, we could do the Freaky Friday, the switch the places. I could be you and you could be me. I love that song, Switch. What if we could do that? Wouldn't that be miraculous? We would finally go, oh, that's why you said you wanted to die. Now, I'm not laughing with anything but a bit of, dark humor here, because I have a little feeling that many of us can only carry so much. And we're all holding and carrying what we need to carry, or what we have to carry, or what we think we have to carry. And no one's carrying it for us. So to compare is useless. To say, well, that's not that bad. Yeah, my left foot was squished in that suit all day, but you know what? I have other things. Mine are like this. Look, mine's worse. Yeah. That's not helpful. What's helpful is to offer the other person something called empathy, or a little compassion, which is just relatability. If you dissolve these, fancy words down into simple terms, we're just trying to relate to one another. So if I got into your suit, tell me what I would experience. Would my head feel like it was being crushed during your migraines? I've never had a migraine. There's something I wouldn't be able to relate to, although I understand they are crippling. I've had brain surgery, and I know what it feels like to wake up with your head on fire. But here's the thing. For me to tell you what I feel sounds like complaining. So I try to keep it to myself. But whatever that pain is that's chronic is disturbing and wearing down my coping mechanisms. So I don't have all the tools of communication I would normally have if my body were working. If the signals from my brain actually reached the intended target, like the hands or the feet, I wouldn't even be talking about it. It would be an automatic response that I used to take for granted. Like when you learn to ride a bike. At first, it's a little hard, right? Well, every time I walk, I have to learn how to ride a bike again. It's exhausting. That's why people with chronic pain and disease and disability are so exhausted. If you see me out in public, it is a small miracle that I got out the door. Half of the day I'm limping, festinating, stutter stepping. Now, this is not a permanent condition. in my case. But we're not really talking about me. I want to go more universal to say it's not permanent. Whatever you're experiencing, I'm not speaking literally, by the way. I'm not saying like you're not really disabled, you can change. I'm saying it's not a permanent state. If you're stuck, your mindset is everything in that moment. If you're already stuck and frozen and you can't cross the threshold, or you can't walk down the stairs, or something's preventing you from movement, whether figuratively or literally, however you want to take this, it doesn't really matter, I guess. You have to pause no matter what and say, oh, here I am. Where are my feet? Where are my hands? Where is my body? Where's my gut? Where is my head right now? What is this thinking, this constant thinking interrupting this moment? What if I just took a breath? Maybe a couple more, nice and slow. Listen to my stomach rumbling. What am I experiencing? Am I here right now, or am I tripping in the future, or getting stuck in the past? The past is an illusion at this point. It doesn't even exist. And the future tripping is useless and causes greater anxiety and neuroses. Neither is useful in the moment. I have to walk right now. Can I make 3 steps toward the door? This is to get unstuck, Break it down. Oversimplify. Breathe deeply and think of a beat. 1 and 2 and 3. Take the big step. Lift your leg up. March in place if you have to. Now, this is for people with Parkinson's. I only know that movement disorder. I'm sure other disorders have other techniques. I like to sing or have a beat if I get frozen. So in public, I look like a maniac. It's wonderful. I will actually sing. I'll start the beat, and I'll just sing. You can tell by the way I walk my walk, I'm a woman's man, no time to talk. I don't even know if my lyrics are right, and I don't care. I'll sing anything. I need a man. Or I'll sing, poetry's no place for a heart that's a whore. That would be Martha Wainwright. Probably not that song, actually. That would be son of a bitch, give me a drink. That one probably doesn't work either. But I like the part where it says, my hands were shaking, my heart was aching, there's bugs crawling all over me. That goes over very well in public. Now, I just woke up. My voice isn't warmed up or anything, so please don't judge the singing part, but you get the idea. We don't have to be so damn serious. So fucking what if we freeze, or we festinate, or we get stuck? Unless you're in a roundabout in the airport like I was, where everybody hit the glass, you probably won't hurt anybody. Yes, that's right. The rotating doorways at the airports. I froze as I stepped in, making everyone in all the quadrants of the revolving door smash into the glass. It was not pretty. Clean up in aisle 3, man down, man down. Yeah, it was bad. Anyway, enough of that. We all make mistakes. I did my best. I forgot my song list, maybe. I don't know what happened. We can always do better, right? No matter what is holding us back, we can find a technique, a thought, a vibe. Maybe somebody with us can just be a touchstone. All we need is to tap in and just touch their shoulder, or listen to a few words, or have a song, a memory, a happy place to go to. I'm not saying to check out of the moment. I'm saying to stay in the moment, using some breathing for a minute. If people rush you out of the way, if you're not in danger, don't let them. Stay in your technique. So yeah, I guess this talk is a suggestion and also an example to find that thing that gets you unstuck, whether you're thinking too much and your energy and emotions are carrying you away from the moment, or whether your body is just locked up and will not participate. Maybe you have outrageous dyskinesias. That's when your movements are jerking around. You feel like someone is shaking you from within. That's hard too. They're both exhausting. Whether you're in the drying cement, concrete, quicksand, or you're being wiggled in the waves. There are things you can do to get out of it. I also want to say there are people who help us. I have a great friend here in town named Carol who is wonderful at getting me back into the moment. She knows exactly the technique and participates actively and stays right there with me. And when she's around, that energy guides me into getting unlocked. It's really miraculous. Very little to do with the medicine, which doesn't always work. The medicine that I speak of is mostly cinnamon. It's been around since the 60s. The old standard. When that doesn't cross the blood-brain barrier, I'm kind of screwed. I rely heavily on it. I always carry it with me. In the emergency department, they pulled it out of my pocket and they said, "What are these drugs?" I couldn't talk. So I think they probably assumed that I was freezing because I didn't know what they were. But upon giving them to the pharmacist, they were a little apologetic. Like, oops, those are just Parkinson's medications. Yep. And you took them from me and you wouldn't let me have them. But we will talk about that another time. Back to when you get emotional or something's happening that's disturbing. Work on that. Work on breathing through that. And you'll have a better day, especially in public. This has been a public service announcement from Jack Handy, Deep Thoughts by HK. But I hope it's useful anyway. Have a great day.